live video up. It's about 7:30, coming up on 7:30 London time. I just wanted to, looks a little blurry there. Let me see, hold on a sec. Wait 1 sec. That's fine, fine with that. Using the sunlight while we still have it. I also have some lights going on in here. Just wanted to ask a basic question. Do you think big or small? Life. Before we dive in, guys, amidst all the supercar, hypercar videos you're seeing, there was just a Bugatti. I don't know which type of Bugatti, which kind, I forget. I think it said it was a Chiron. I'm not sure. But it was parked right below. You heard the bellowing of Satan himself. Saw Koenigsegg one the other day, $6.5 million car. This is like a $2.9 million car. Just so many hypercars and pictures and videos of Harrod and just so many also awesome pics. But I wanted to remind you guys, I run a website called bloggingfromparadise.com where I teach bloggers how to circle the globe through blogging. Do what I do. Because a lot of people, oh, what do you do? What do you do? What's your business? How do you do this? Where you circle the globe? The site is called bloggingfromparadise.com, my site. And I sell blogging courses to guide you. I sell blogging ebooks to guide you. I also publish blog posts. The courses and the ebooks, guys, are in-depth, helpful, clear guides that walk you through the blogging process step by step. So I guide you to succeed as a blogger if you want to do what I do. Even if you don't want to circle the globe as a professional blogger, just want to learn how to blog effectively, I teach it through the blogging courses that I've created and the blogging ebooks that I've written. And of course, through my blog posts as well. So you could see all that information at bloggingfromparadise.com. So guys, I've been thinking bigger and bigger over the months and years. And I think it's just expanding even more right now because I'm doing a lot of mind training. And then as I do the mind training, guys, I'm finding that I'm stepping into these mind expanding environments, these abundant environments. Like here in London, it's pretty inspiring when on this little block here of a couple hundred meters that I've seen Koenigsegg one, and only 7 made in the world. Bugatti, forget the type, but $3 million car. Seeing McLarens, Ferrari Enzos. These are a lot of the rarest cars in the world. And being around $200 million mansions, $300 million mansions, because we're in the Notting Hill section of town, which is very posh. Kensington, Mayfair. This area north and south of Hyde Park, some of the most expensive real estate in the world. And on a worldly level, but really in mind, ultimately it's doing it. It's getting me to think a little bigger. Not so much to chase goals, not so much to try to do stuff in form in the physical world. Not really, but just to look at my mind and think, in what areas have I been thinking small? And in what areas have I been thinking big? All right. Asking myself some honest questions, waiting around for some honest answers. And in so doing, just by asking the question, and I look at my mind honestly, I'm able to see where I've maybe been thinking a little smaller in terms of fear. And then those areas too, where I have been expanding and thinking bigger, more from an energy of love and abundance and fun and not from fear. The issue is, guys, the world conditions you very deliberately and precisely to think small. So if you're thinking just to get by, if you're thinking just to survive, if you're thinking just to be quote unquote average, just to be like everyone else, you're thinking small. Nothing wrong with that. There's never anything wrong with thinking big or small. There's never anything right with it. Yet, even though there's nothing wrong with it, when you become a little more aware that how you think dictates your life and that you have a free will, so you can think however you want to think, and how thinking big and expansively will make you the happiest, the most at peace, the most free. You'll be the most helpful for the world. You'll have the most fun. Then it makes sense logically to think big. Now, what do I mean by thinking big? I mean thinking expansively. So, not thinking, well, I'm going to spend the rest of my life, and I'm not saying this pejoratively or sarcastically, guys, in a parlance, I guess. I'm not saying this in an insulting fashion to be nasty, but I mean thinking big means not thinking right now, I'm going to design my life and live the rest of it just to get by, just to get a job, to cover the bills, and that's it. You could do that, but of course it's thinking small. And the reason why it's thinking small is because this is unlimited unless you put limits on it. So if you really think that we were designed just to survive or just to get a job to pay the bills, you're not thinking expansively enough, and you've been listening to the horse shit that the world puts into your mind. And it is bullshit because it's based in fear. Now the world has every right to do that because it gives you what you're giving it. So if you give it fear in your mind, it'll take it. That's its right. It's just giving you a reflection. So it's not about being angry at the world, even though I use some salty language there. It's not about being enraged at the world or saying it's unfair. It's just saying that it's BS. If you think small, the world loves that because that's what the world's built on. The world's built on fear and scarcity and manipulation, as you see it. Yet when you start thinking bigger, when you're like, screw this, I'm not going to live to survive. That's not going to be my goal, get a job and just get any job so I could pay bills. And that's how a lot of the world thinks. Now, it's not good or bad. It's not right or wrong. It just is how it is. Look around. I'm challenging you to think big, to step out of the small thinking nature of the world that's just trying to get by, that just wants to survive. Why would you do that if you have a free will? Right? When you start thinking this through logically, or if you start maybe seeing the illusions or the appearances of a lot of minds around you who are thinking small, it's totally okay. Yet when you begin to observe it and you start asking questions of yourself and waiting around for honest answers, you'll probably say, the hell am I doing here? I mean, seriously, you have these eureka moments of like, why am I thinking this way? Why am I just working a job? And jobs can be so fun and freeing and teach us so many great lessons about our minds. Phenomenal. Yet if you're giving your life just to surviving and you're not having fun, you do want to begin asking, what the hell am I doing here? And then if you see a lot of minds around you, bodies that appear to be in the same predicament as if anybody's a victim of their environment, which is another horseshit, small thinking line. It's not true. Your mind's unlimited. An unlimited mind cannot be the victim of anything. Of course, if it really believes in it and if it thinks small, oh yeah. Oh yeah. And you might see a lot of minds around you who are thinking small with an identical or very similar victim mentality. As long as you're thinking small, you'll resonate with them and you will complain. How's that going to help you? It won't. What will that do? Will scare you into thinking even more small. How happy will you be when you're thinking small? Not too happy. Why? Because you're living in fear. We're not designed to live in fear, guys. We're designed to think big, expansively. We're designed to leave our comfort zone. We're designed to face our fears instead of cowering to our fears. Is this comfortable? No. Is it freeing? Yes, every time. Does it bring peace of mind? Yeah. Yeah, because you won't be carrying around those small thinking fears. I'm doing this just to get by, just for now. If you're doing things just for now, and that for now becomes 3 months, 6 months, 2 years, 6 years, 10 years, 1 decade, 2 decades, 30 years later, 40 years later, you're still thinking small, that's okay. Yet, even though it's okay, you'll never be happy or free until you're thinking expansively. Now, as far as thinking big, I do not mean big money, big houses, cars. I'm talking about expansive awareness. I'm talking about scale. I'm talking about having fun, talking about helping, being truly helpful. It's not in form. The guy who's talking about thinking big right now has these physical possessions. I'm a full-time digital nomad. I have no home base. Everybody asks me every day on Facebook. Everybody says, where are you from? I'm originally from the US, but I haven't lived there full time for 12 years. And the more I travel, I don't even identify with living there. No offense, US. I thought it was awesome to live there, but I travel the world. I don't even think about it. I'm a digital nomad. I travel nonstop. Hey, friend. So when people ask me where I'm from, I just say everywhere, and I send them a link to bloggingfromparadise.com, my about page. And so they see, oh, this guy's been to 40-something countries. And so when I'm saying think big is something I want to explain. When I'm not talking about form, I'm talking about your mind. Everything is mind. Being a digital nomad with no home base, home's in the mind, but no house or apartment, travel full time. I own a carry-on with 1 week's worth of clothes as far as it changed. So I have clothes for a week, and then I wash them after the week. A laptop, a backpack, and a phone. Those are my physical possessions. I do not own anything else in this world. So if I'm telling you to think big, and I own a laptop, a phone, a carry-on, this is a carry-on. This is what I own. That's it. That's it, my friend. So I live out of. And here, I'll show you the other one. Check it out. Oh, no, I'm not gonna, because I'll knock the thing over. Actually, no. You guys want to see London? Freaking awesome Notting Hill. Look at this posh neighborhood. You want to see a cool car? One of the many cool cars. The Bugatti was down. Oh, is he still here? That's the Lamborghini Urus. Woo! What a neighborhood. House sitting here for 2 weeks. I want to see if I see the Bugatti. Oh, that's it. Backpack. Now I want to see now. Hold on a sec, guys. The Veyron's still out there. I don't think so, though. It wasn't a Veyron, actually. It was a Bugatti Chiron. No, he's not. He jetted. I think he lived on the street, though, because the car was delivered here. But that's it. The backpack. And carry on just some clothes. So thinking big is not about acquiring a bunch of things, because they're illusions. Sorry, guys. Everything's an illusion. The only reality is spirit. If it dies, if it fades away, it's not real, because only spirit's real, because it's eternal. Makes sense, right? When you think about it logically. So I'm not talking about getting a bunch of stuff. It's fine to get it once you see it's an illusion. It's fine to make a lot of money and acquire stuff. Just see that it's an illusion. I'm talking about thinking big as far as helping, having fun, living your dreams, scaling, leveraging. Choosing to do things solely only because it would be so much fun and you'd spread so much love and it'd be so freeing, and never, when you're thinking really big, or I don't want to say never ever, but ultimately developing your mind to the point where you never do things from fear, especially when you're thinking of quote unquote what appears to be bigger life decisions. They're all just the same decision. So I'm talking about choosing to have fun with your life and not doing things from fear. That's thinking big. And there's not a lot of people who do it because it's really, to a lot of folks, too scary. It's too scary to let go. It feels much more comfortable. It feels safer. It feels more risk-free to live small, to think small. Yet you'll find that when you think small, you feel depressed. You feel angry. You may feel ashamed or embarrassed. You might feel, not that you should, but they're just there. Those emotions are there in your mind. You may feel like you're underachieving. Some people feel in their mind, in a pejorative sense, they feel like a loser, and they're not. Nobody is. We're all unlimited. Yet these are the feelings. These are the warning signs, the red flags that you're thinking small. And how can you think big? Start now and begin to trust your intuition, which will lead you to think big, because it only operates from love and for the good of all. So when you start thinking about, okay, I've been thinking small, I've just been living to take care of myself, pay my bills, take care of 3-4 people. Cool. When you start thinking big, the sphere of influence in your mind goes from one person, you, or 3 or 4 people, or say 5 people, your family, to everyone. And then the moment it starts, that's how your intuition works. It thinks about the good of all, because we're just one spirit or one mind. When you start thinking along those lines, fear will come up, because the ego and its fear and the small thinking small, is going to say it's too risky, it's too dangerous. What's going to happen? What are you going to do? How are you going to do this? How are you going to do that? What about your family? What about the care of your job? What about your paycheck? It's risky. What about your this, that, benefits? What about your retirement account? What about? So all those thoughts and fears will come up in your mind that are solely designed by the illusion called the ego, that try to terrify you back into your comfort zone of thinking small. So you have a decision at that point. You scurry back to your comfort zone and you think small, and you continue with the depression and unhappiness, anger, rage, railing at the system. Or you say, screw this, I'm thinking big and I'm never looking back. Kelly and I did that 12 years ago. We think big. We've been circling the globe for 12 years. And we change things up. We think big with collectively 2 carry-ons and 2 backpacks. We live in some of the most brilliant places in the world. We just spent a month in a 3,000 square foot apartment in Prague overlooking the river. Did my homework on the Upper West Side of New York City. It would have cost $7 to $10 million USD based on the size and scale. We do house sitting. We live in these places rent free. We care for pets, which is really so easy and so much fun. And we just travel and live in these phenomenal places. We're here in the Notting Hill section of London, some of the most expensive real estate in the world. We're here for 2 weeks. We'll be in London for another 2 weeks beyond, in Chiswick. We did a house sit for a month in Kalkan, the turquoise coast of Turkey, Turkish Riviera, 4-story, brand new, wired, modern, gorgeous house, villa. My point is, guys, we're living a phenomenal life only because we thought big. We did not think small to do this. And it's the only way you're going to do it. If you see someone living their dreams, They're not doing it by thinking small. They're not doing it by trying to hold on. They're not doing it by depending on the system. Are you nuts? The system was not designed to empower you. That's why there's a system. It was designed to try to control and manipulate you. If it empowered people, there'd be no system. Come on, let's think, guys. Let's use our mind. But if you turn back to the system, if you complain about it, and if you moan and whine, I apologize. I'm sorry to break it to you. You're thinking small from fear. Anytime you think you're a victim or you complain or you moan, you're afraid. The more you think big, you go above this. And you'll see these people that are happy and free, they think above the small thinking masses. To live your dreams, to have fun, to make life really fun and freeing, you have to think big. And as your thinking expands, it'll feel uncomfortable sometimes, but it'll feel incredibly liberating. And you'll start having these, like I said, eureka moments of like, what the hell am I doing here? If you are thinking small and you're in survival mode and you're making your life a paycheck, you're entitled to do it. But when it fully clicks, you will never do it again. And I'm saying when it clicks, when you realize that you're making decisions from fear and you're making decisions from thinking small, and maybe a lot of minds around you are thinking small and you all agree and commiserate. And then in one moment, you're like, what am I doing? Why have I been living in fear? Now, as you migrate, as you evolve from thinking small to thinking big, you will organically allow witnesses into your experience, like-minded people who are also thinking big and doing things for fun, from an energy of love, not fear, daring stuff, beautiful things, worthy things, freeing things, peace-inducing things. You will start aligning with these minds because we're all just one mind anyway, and they're going to mirror your burgeoning belief system back to you. It's pretty awesome, guys. It's pretty high in the parallels here. It's like 10 to 8, and it's still so light out, and it's not even May yet, which is awesome. But guys, that's it for tonight. I have some meditating to do. I just want to do maybe not a half-hour chat, but just a reminder to think big. Don't think small. Think big. Expand your mind. Follow your dreams. Go for it. When you move toward your dreams, the ideas will come to you. The situations will come to you. The circumstances, the people, the minds. They'll flow to you, but you got to keep moving in that direction. And you got to think expansively and get after it. It's not about working hard. It's not about pushing, straining, and striving. It's all mind. And thinking big isn't about getting a lot of stuff or money necessarily. It's fine to go for, but you begin to realize too, it's just an illusion. The big thinking part is just expanding your mind, expanding your awareness, which is so much fun. That's where the reward is, because you'll feel better and better, and you'll be more helpful, and you'll be more loving and compassionate, empathetic, and you'll rise above that din of small thinking, fear, scarcity, manipulation, victim mentality, all that bullcrap, which is not you, because you're an unlimited mind. And the more you realize that, you will think big, because that's how you think organically. You'll strip away all the other ego crap. Guys, that's it for tonight. Signing off from beautiful London. Make sure to stop by bloggingfromparadise.com. Make sure, guys, it's my website. We have blogging courses that teach you to circle the globe, blogging ebooks, teach you to travel the world, and blog posts to empower and inspire and uplift you. Until next time, you know what to do. Enjoy paradise all.